Pretty much a year ago to the day, I had some devastating news that absolutely ripped out my heart and changed my life forever. Some of you may already know what this is, but I thought I'd touch upon this. After 3 months of being on mounjaro this time last year, I had lost a couple of stone. I was feeling okay with myself, but I was masking for a lot of things wrong in my life. And pretty much a year ago to the day, my now ex-partner sat me down and basically told me she didn't love me anymore and hadn't loved me for a while, and things weren't working. Now, this set off alarms in my head after 6-7 years of us being together. 2 kids, one of which I've taken on as my own. I'm technically my daughter's stepdad, but she's 10 and I've been around since she was 3. So I claim squatter's right, she's mine. And I wouldn't see it any other way. And my son, also born within that relationship, is now 5 years old. So yeah, basically after 6.5-7 years, I was told that this relationship is dead. That she didn't feel that way anymore. She hadn't felt that way for a fairly long while, and I'll be honest, I won't get into the details. There was some fairly obvious red flags that I should have noted. For that, I thought I'd try and save the relationship, in which clearly there was one-way intent. I clearly wanted to do something, and for whatever reason, her heart wasn't in it. Now, this isn't a bash piece on that person. I just wanted to highlight that after 3 months in on a diet before, if something had happened like this would have smashed me into a spiral. This would have destroyed my life. No matter how much weight I'd lost, I would have piled it back on within 2 to 3 weeks. I would have re-triggered my depression. I would have been in a load of pain. And I'm not saying that I wasn't this time round. I'm just saying that you never quite know what the making of a life-changing thing is until you look back on it and realise how life-changing it is. So 3 months into being on mounjaro, I'd lost around about 2 stone. And I had this news that rocked me. I had my life jigsaw puzzle smashed into pieces. A shout out to Daniel Sloss, if you get that reference. And the main body piece of what I thought was my ultimate end picture in the jigsaw puzzle piece was destroyed. I knew roughly who I was. I knew the outside edges of who Alan was, and I knew that this is my daughter and this is my son within that puzzle piece. But the big chunk of it all had been destroyed, and normally this kind of thing would knock people off kilter. Emotional eating, depression, the inability to focus on something. This could have destroyed me, absolutely destroyed me. I was very, very, very lucky that within the 2 to 3 months following that, I was able to keep myself busy. I've always had an ability to solve a problem fairly quickly when I need to find a solution. In my former business, my business partner Darren used to call it pulling an Allen. We need £200 or £300 to make sure that we hit payroll. In 3 days, I'd find it. I'd sell something. Whatever, right? And in my recent life, if I'd lost a client and I needed to find a new source of income, if I needed to find a house to live, if I needed to do fucking something, anything, Alan gets shit done. And because of this big upheaval, this big emotional stab through the chest, which I'll be honest, it still rattles me. Emotionally, I've been through a lot in the last few years and in the last 12, 15 months. So it rattled me, but I knew that I had to get shit done. I knew I had to find a place where me and my kids would be safe and healthy, and I could afford to put them up in. And I knew that I needed to wade through the jigsaw puzzle maze that's going to be the whole co-parenting thing without wanting to stab that person in the face. I needed to decouple from the Alan and thing. You know what I mean? When you're in a relationship, before you're in a relationship, it's Alan and that other person. And when you enter into a relationship, initially it's Alan and that person. And then by the end of that relationship, let's call her Lisa, for example. That's not her name, but let's call her Lisa. By the end of that relationship, you get to a point where you're almost Annalisa. You're just one homogenous clump of everything that you've done or compromised on. So I knew that I had that to navigate. Over the last 12 months, I've really shown something to myself that I'm proud of. The amount of getting shit done or pulling an Alan that I've been able to do has really helped me, and it's really helped me mentally and physically in the world. I do have that nice 2-bedroom flat where I can record my videos, where I can work, where I can still service my clients, where I'm literally a 5-minute taxi ride away from my kids. I can walk to them in 20 minutes if I don't have taxi money. The only time I've not seen them within this period of time is when I had my gallbladder surgery, where I had no option. The last 12 months have been absolutely life-changing for me. I have got back a good 85% of what I used to feel was me 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, however, I was also anxious and depressed and not sure of me. And although I'm not saying I know exactly who I am now, I feel I understand Alan a hell of a lot more now at the age of 41, having been single for just coming up to a year, just over a year, because I now realise what I can do, what I'm good at, what I can do. For so many years, I rightly or wrongly gave so much of myself to everything else and everyone else, not just my ex-partner. I've always been, the ADHD side of my brain's always been that I've been a people pleaser, that I've been a problem solver, that I'll take on other people's problems before I look after myself. And after a year of it all, I finally hopped on the scales this week, and I hit 19 stone, 12 pounds. I started at 27 stone in January 2025. After 3 months on the jab, I then got that news that 6.5, 7 years of a relationship wasn't worth putting in that jigsaw puzzle, and that absolutely broke my heart and rearranged my world. And over the last year, I've rebuilt myself, my life, and focus on those 3 things: my health, my family, and my future. And to hit that milestone of 19 stone and 12 pounds, to be in the teens for the first time in 16 years. I've wiped off 16 years of yo-yo dieting, of losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, having fantastic times, going to the gym, being depressed, eating a load of food. I've been able to lose that 7 and a bit stone in 15, 16 months. I've been able to go through a life-changing, life-shaking situation with the end of a long-term relationship with the mother of my children, and I still didn't fall off the diet, the eating thing, I don't say this often to myself, but I am proud. And I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of what I've done and what I've achieved. I'm proud of the framework that I'm building. I'm proud of the new parts of the jigsaw puzzle that I'm building. So much so that I've even generated a jigsaw North Star plan for myself, which I'll explain at some point. If you want to know the jigsaw North Star plan for Alan, I will be talking about it much more on my main channel, which is youtube.com/Alan Spicer, because I now know what the outside edge of my jigsaw puzzle pieces are. I know that the heart, the thing that I love, is my kids. I'm starting to learn to love Alan a little bit more. But I just want to let you know that you can go through these earth-shattering things and still kick out. You can go through these life-changing situations and still get shit done, or pull an Alan for yourself. And my WhatsApp community and the people that watch me here have really helped with that. So I'm looking right at the camera for this. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your comments. If you understand the journey I've gone through, if you have ever had problems with the emotional eating, then please comment love, love, love in the comment section down below, because egg worked so well in the last video. I'm Alan. I'm losing it. And now I am the lightest I've ever been since moving to Huddersfield, West Yorkshire. It just blows my mind. Boop. I mean boop.